Hey everybody, I am Katrina from In Cat We Trust on another episode of Kicking Back with Cat podcast. And here I have with me Raine Cruz, aka Ringside Raine. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm well. Tired, but okay. So I feel like a lot of people probably already asked you this question. So I want to try it a little differently as far as how did you feel like getting the call or email saying, okay, you're the person going to SummerSlam? How was that for you?
I was speechless, and it was just like an overwhelming emotion. I didn't know what to say. I just literally like got on the floor and I was just like crying, and I just didn't know how to process it at first because I couldn't believe that I won. Because leading up to the week of SummerSlam, I just didn't think I won at all. I didn't even think I had a chance. So like when I found out that I won, I was just like, oh my God, is this real? And then next thing I know, I'm just like on the floor crying. And then my husband's like, what's going on? Like, what happened? And I couldn't talk. I just showed him my phone, and he read that I won the SummerSlam contest. So it was just, I mean, to be honest with you, we're like almost, a month in or 2 months in. I still can't believe it. I can't believe that it happened to me, that I won. It's just like it's just an unbelievable experience.
And it's like a funny thing because I remember seeing it and I'm like, maybe I'll like do this, but I'm like, I don't really like talking like in crowds and stuff. Like I finally got comfortable being on camera, and that took years. Like quarantine kind of forced me to kind of do other stuff, so it kind of being on camera. So I was like, no, let's see what. So I've been checking some of the videos out that I saw on TikTok. Like, okay, these are pretty cool. So one, it was really nice to see a woman, but to see a woman of color, I'm always so happy when I see, women of color just doing really amazing things. So that was like super awesome. Just as a Black woman, just to see somebody else of color, like, yes, like, let's get these opportunities. I thought that was pretty amazing. Did you get to meet anybody like Vince McMahon or anybody else that just kind of like welcomed you into that on SummerSlam?
Oh, wow. I met a lot of people. I met a lot of people from backstage, and people who work behind the scenes. I met a bunch of current superstars and then former superstars, WWE legends. I remember meeting Molly Holly, Beth Phoenix. I met Drew McIntyre, Street Profits, Nikki ASH, of course, Greg Hamilton, Mike Rome. Who else? I mean, I saw Riddle, because when Riddle was kind of like rehearsing his thing, I was also in the ring, like kind of rehearsing. And then I saw Charlotte Flair. I didn't meet Charlotte Flair, but I saw her. I met Triple H. I met Triple H. That was very, very interesting. I didn't. I wasn't starstruck. I was mostly like, oh, cool. I'm meeting Triple H right now. This is crazy. Because I was like, I remember like he kind of got out to the arena, and I was talking to my girl, I think, and he's like, oh, there's Triple H right behind you. I think he's heading towards us. And I was like, oh, great. I just like took a cough drop because I knew I was about to rehearse. That's kind of like my thing. Like, kind of like I feel like it helps with my voice, but I think right now it just became a habit. So I was like, oh, great. Now I'm going to smell like cough drop. But then I was like, well, we're all wearing masks. You probably won't know. But so I started chewing my cough drop because I was like, I don't want to talk to Triple H and be like, how are you? Because I have a cough drop in my mouth. So I chewed it as fast as I can, and then here comes Triple H, and then he just told me, you know what, just have fun, enjoy the moment, because that's what we do here, and that's exactly what I did. When I ring announced for the kickoff show.
Nice. It's funny you said about cough drops because I do the exact same thing. I literally always have like cough drops on me, and my reasoning is always if my throat feels dry, I'll just pop one in to make my voice feel better. And I know it's probably doesn't really do anything, but I've been doing it for so long. So like you're the first person I've actually heard say they do that. Because like I do this all the time. People question like why. I'm like I don't know. It's habit now. Like I've been doing it for so long that I'll just pop a cough drop in really quick. If I have to talk for a long period of time, I'll just use. So that's so funny you said that because I'm like I thought I was the only person who did that with the cough drops. That's so cool that you do that too. How was like I don't did they allow you to like watch the whole thing? Were you in like a suite? Were you in the audience watching SummerSlam, or was it just there for doing the kickoff?
I was actually there right behind the announcers. Like they gave us ringside seats, myself and my husband. So while I was doing my thing, it was actually Logan Paul and his family who were like in our seats. And after their spot was done, they gave our seats back, and we were just there throughout the show. It was really cool because, you know, we got to like see the matches like that close, and at the same time, Greg Hamilton, he would look at me and he'd be like, okay, so sometimes you have to be prepared for this and that and that and that. And it's like, oh my God, this is awesome. Like you're literally like working right now and you're taking your time to teach me stuff, which, you know, was not really, you know, part of, you know, what I won. But to me, it's like, oh, you're such a great trainer and mentor that you want to teach me. And same thing with Mike Rome. So that was really nice that I got to be like right behind them. And then Beth Phoenix ended up coming out, and then she like sat right next to me to watch Edge versus Seth Rollins. So that was really cool too, because at first I didn't know it was her, and then she's like, "Hey, it's me," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, you're right here."
Beth Phoenix is such a, you know, she's done so much in regards to like women's wrestling. So I know that had to be like super awesome to like meet her, like in the level where it's like you kind of, it's like you're working your show kind of. So it's a little, I guess, a different level of meeting it. Like if I'm at a meet and greet, it's like a totally different experience. Is that how it felt for you? Like, this is a little different than if I was doing like a wrestling meet and greet where it's just like you take a picture and get an autograph.
Yeah, it was very different because when I first got there, I was told, hey, like, you know, you can't take pictures backstage, which is fine because my mindset was I want to get there. I don't want to be seen as, you know, the wrestling fan who won this contest. I mean, of course, I am a wrestling fan who won the contest, but I didn't want to be seen as like someone who just like, you know, was backstage to like, you know, be taking pictures. I wanted to be seen as, okay, look, she won the opportunity to ring announce. She did her thing, and you know, I wanted them to remember me as a ring announcer. And so when I met Beth Phoenix, it was right after, actually, it was right after I met Molly Holly. So I had my rehearsal, and I remember getting out of the ring, and here comes Molly Holly, and she congratulated me, and she told me great job. And I just remember thinking in my head, wait a minute, like Molly Holly is congratulating me. And then like I think she saw like the look in my eyes when I was just kind of like thinking all these things. And then she's like, I'm Nora. And then I was like, yes, of course I know you're Molly Holly. And then she's like, Molly Holly? Because I wasn't responding. I was just like processing everything in my head. and I was like, of course, yes, ma'am. Like, nice to meet you. And here comes Beth Phoenix. She, you know, said the same thing. Congratulations, great job. And for some reason, I thought of my coworker, Beth, and I don't know why. But I was just thinking, why is Beth here? Why is my coworker here? She got a new job with WWE. This is crazy. And then she pulled her mask down, and then she said, I'm Beth Phoenix. And I was like, oh my God, yes, you are Beth Phoenix. Oh my God, this is crazy. And then, you know, so to me, it felt like they didn't have to be ringside. They didn't have to like see me in person and like talk to me in person, congratulate me and all that. But they took their time to do that. And it was really nice when Beth Phoenix sat right next to me, you know, she said hi to me and then we kind of chatted a bit. And I remember thinking, okay, maybe I can ask her for a picture. But then I was like, you know what? She wants to she's blending in right now with the crowd. She wants to watch her husband's match. I'm just gonna let her be, because it's like, I don't want her to, be watching a match and everyone's like trying to like take a picture with her. So it's just like, I'll just take a picture in my heart of this moment. And then little did I know, WWE was taking like paparazzi pictures of her. And one of the pictures that they posted was of, I think, me looking at her, asking her, "Are you okay?" Because she was really nervous during the match. So somehow I still got my picture. But yeah, it was it was on a different level. Just because to me it's like, it wasn't like I showed up at a meet and greet and it was like a 5-second hi, hello, take a picture, bye. It was mostly an interaction and actually like talking to each other.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like they were required to do that, because with meet and greets they were required to be there. At SummerSlam it was like them who approached me, so that was really special for me. I have I have respected them before, but now it's like a much it's a higher form of respect, for the fact that they are WWE legends, Beth Phoenix and Molly Holly, and they saw me, someone who's a rookie in this industry, and they pretty much like inspired me more, just by doing that.
Yeah. So what was your thought process like when you was like, okay, I'm gonna enter this contest and kind of do something out there to hope to get picked, which you wind up getting picked for? So what was your thought process as far as like creatively thinking of something that would work, that would get WWE's attention?
Oh, my thought process was, I just wanted to be me, because that's where I'm most comfortable at. I didn't know what they're looking for, because at first I was like, well, are they looking for someone who has a gimmick, with like costumes and stuff, or are they looking for someone who's an established ring announcer? I was neither. I didn't have a gimmick. I mean, I just started ring announcing this year, back in March, so I was like, I'm not really, I'm not a pro at this, but I can always try. My mindset was, it's free to create a video. It's free to have a TikTok account, upload your videos. So might as well, do it. My first batch of videos, I literally did it at home. I just remember thinking, well, at least kind of like, look decent on your video, dress up as if you're a ring announcer. I was using my my Amazon Fire TV remote as my microphone. And then, yeah, we didn't have like a microphone at home, so I was like, what can I use? I didn't want to use a water bottle. I was like, I just need like something that looks like a microphone. And then I found a remote, so I used that. And then I figured, well, you know what? My videos are buried under all the other submissions. Maybe I should submit more. And so I went to my wrestling dojo and I asked my promoter, hey, is it okay if I shoot some of these videos? I want to join a contest, la, la, la. I want to be inside the ring. And then so my friends at the dojo helped me shoot my more of my videos, which is funny because they were teaching me TikTok as, as we're shooting the videos, because I created a TikTok account to join this contest. So yeah, I did that. Same thing. I just, dressed up as, I guess in my head, like my ring announcer look. And then at home, I still kind of like, shot some more, just because in my head, maybe WWE will see it, maybe they won't. But at the same time, to me, it's like, well, again, it's just free to upload videos, so why not? So yeah, to me, I just kind of like stayed true to myself, my style. I didn't want to copy other ring announcers, because to me, it's like at the end of the day, they're looking, to me, I felt like they're looking for someone who has their own style, who's unique.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just basically stayed true to myself.
That's great. And you said you have a wrestling dojo, so I'm assuming you're like training to like wrestling stuff, or was it more so just to train to do commentary?
So for me, I'm not training as a wrestler. I got with my promoter back in February to be like a backstage reporter.
Mm-hmm.
I remember approaching him, I was like, well, I want to be a wrestling manager, here are my videos and all. And he's like, well, I don't need a wrestling manager right now, but I could use you as a backstage reporter. So every now and then I would go to our dojo and, interview the guys for their promos. And then what else? Oh, we also have like a podcast every now and then. I would, be a guest for the podcast. So that's that. Yeah, training for wrestling. I mean, I had thought about it just to kind of like learn like the basics of like the bumps and just like the basic wrestling moves. But I don't know about full blown training as a wrestler. I don't know. I'm not athletic.
Listen, I'm with you on that one. I am same. Wrestlers I've gotten to meet over the years, I'm like, listen, you guys take bumps. I cannot take bumps. I will probably be crying or be like upset that we got to sell this kayfabe it, and I'm gonna be like, wait, can we not do this? So power to every wrestler who can like take the bumps and do all of that and make it look like easy, because I know I couldn't do it. Personally, I couldn't do it. So that's cool that you're doing backstage reporting, because literally I just started doing this, June, I want to say, is when I did my first type of like backstage thing. And it was only because I've interviewed somebody and she was like, you know what, would you mind? And I'm like, wait, me? I'm like, so no experience at all whatsoever. I don't know what this is. And you'll be on camera, and all that stuff ran through my head. So it's cool that, again, I like hearing women talking about this is how I wanted to do this. And so I think, what would your gimmick be? If you can do wrestling manager, what would you have as like, what kind of manager would you be if you was managing a wrestler? And would you want to manage a face or a heel?
Oh, I definitely would want to be like a Paul Heyman type of manager. So back when I first started creating my wrestling videos on my YouTube channel in 2019, I actually uploaded a couple of videos of my promos as Asuka's wrestling manager. And I created a series called What If Asuka is a Heel? And at that time, Asuka was a face. She was the SmackDown Women's Champion. And I just remember watching her, and I was like, there is something missing here. And at that time, Paul Heyman was Brock Lesnar's manager. And I remember my husband and I were watching SmackDown. He's like, why can't you be that? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, why can't you be like that guy? I was like, oh, Paul Heyman. And I was like, oh my God, Paul Heyman for Asuka? I was like, oh. So, yeah, so something like that, like a heel manager. I don't know. It's hard for me to, like, act nice. Because, like, to me, it's just, like, me, So that's when I get, like, all, like, shy. Because it's like, well, I'm just being me. Like, I'm, like, being nice. And but as a heel manager, it's like, okay, I feel like that's not me. So, yeah, I look up to Paul Heyman. I want to be, someone like him, like the way he managed his clients, like just like a great mouthpiece for his wrestlers, and with Paul Heyman, yes, he's supposed to be in the background, but Paul Heyman can also like he's his own character. Like you recognize him as the Paul Heyman, not just, oh, he's the guy that like walks with, Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar. He became his own character. So I want to be, someone like him.
Yeah, Paul Heyman is definitely one of my favorite managers of all time. He's just the work he's done with the difference between how he was with Brock Lesnar and how he is with Roman Reigns. It's such a difference, and it's just perfect with how he was kind of like greeting, but then like it's just, he did it so well that he was able to kind of adjust his personality a bit to kind of be Roman Reigns. And I'm like, you know what? I respect anybody who can make me believe that this is what you are at this moment. So definitely love Paul Heyman. So that's like a great pick, for somebody to kind of want to, be or get inspiration from, rather. So if you can have your dream SummerSlam card, who would be on the card? What matches? And where would you want it to be?
Oh, dream SummerSlam card. Well, I actually, I saw John Cena versus Roman Reigns. I actually like that one. So that will be still a part of it. Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. I was really hoping to see that. So why don't we put that in my dream SummerSlam card? Because I really wanted to see that. I mean, I enjoyed Becky Lynch coming back. But at the same time, I was like, man, I get to see Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair WrestleMania rematch live in front of a lot of people. I really wanted to see that. So maybe we could have that again. But I know they're going to be having a triple threat match next, for Crown Jewel next week. So that should be good too. But at the same time, to me, it's just like I really, really wish that happened. Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks at SummerSlam. God, what else? Another SummerSlam card. Does it have to be like a current superstar, or
it can be anybody you want? It's just like a dream type of SummerSlam.
Oh, okay. So maybe Becky Lynch and Lita versus Trish Stratus and Sasha Banks, like a tag team match.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
And then what else? I just want to throw in Bautista just because I love Bautista. I want to see Bautista versus John Cena live. So this is like really random. I just really want to see them live. So my SummerSlam picks are mostly just biased to like my favorite wrestlers.
It's perfectly fine.
Because I want to like cheer for them. I've never seen The Rock perform or at least wrestle live. I've seen him for SmackDown's launch, their launch on Fox at Staples Center in Los Angeles. The Rock was there, but he was just basically kind of like addressing the crowd. But I had never seen him like live as a wrestler. So that is something I'd love to see. Maybe The Rock versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
Yes, I'm hoping we get that match within the next year or two. Just this kind of, family there. You got like two people who had to kind of become heels to kind of get the crowd behind them, because The Rock had to have the same kind of process of like kind of talking crap to the audience, raising the eyebrow, and then Roman kind of have to be like, I'm better than everybody else level of heel. And look how everybody came to that. So it would be very nice to kind of see, how they would work off of Roman's attitude and the way The Rock is, at least like Attitude Era Rock, when he was just like had the crowd in the palm of his hand. Just like he could do like get the crowd all into his segment. So that would be amazing. I would love. I'm hoping WWE does that soon enough. If The Rock is not busy, then he's like crazy busy with all his movies and stuff. But just they need to make that happen. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can make that happen.
So I know maybe he's not busy one of these summers, and he can do it.
I'm hoping so. Let's fingers crossed, like 2023 or something, we get that happening. Hopefully. So who would you say is like the wrestler that made you become a wrestling fan? For like me, it was Shawn Michaels. Like that was the guy. I was like, oh, okay, I like what I'm seeing. So who was that for you? Like the person that got you into watching?
Yeah, definitely John Cena. I remember watching wrestling for the first time, seeing John Cena, and I was like, what is going on here? It was Monday Night Raw. I can't remember who he was facing. All I know is that I saw him, and I was like, oh, this is like interesting. And then throughout, throughout that time, it's like I've seen him getting booed, and then I've seen him getting cheered on, and it's like, it's like nothing bothered him. He was able to like work a crowd, whether they were booing him or they were cheering for him. And I thought that was amazing. And I was like, man, this is amazing. It's like this guy, he didn't care what people said about him. He actually used every single boo or cheer to, entertain people. So to me, it's just like, man, that's amazing. Like he wasn't bothered by what people had to say about him. And he still knew how to deliver. It's like it wasn't affecting him at all when people were saying, if Cena wins, we riot. So to me, it was just like the fact that, everything was live and you have this guy was being booed, but at the same time, he still kind of knew how to like, drive around this course of like people who were just like booing him. So I thought that was really interesting.
I definitely agree. I got to see him do that live a few years ago at I think it was a Monday Night Raw. It might have been after SummerSlam. It was a Raw in Brooklyn. Since I live in New York, so and the crowd was like, and he just kindly just like, listen, we're here to wrestle. I'm so sorry. I hear the noise in the background. He was just like, we're here to like enjoy a show, and like it's okay if you boo me. I'm still, and he did, and I'm like, you know what? The crowd was kind of harsh too, and I'm like, New York sometimes, it can be a bit much when it comes to shows and they want to take over shows. So I was like, I love you, New York, but and he rolled with it. Like it was no type of he just did his thing and performed and said thank you, and I appreciated that. And I'm like, you know what, some people might not react well to this type of behavior from the audience, and he usually, for the most part, I haven't really seen him like get upset, and he hasn't been heel. He's been like face all this time, and all the children like love him and everything, and Make a Wish. And I think that's cool that you stuck to your guts. Like I get people want you to turn heel, but I respect anybody willing to kind of stick to their guns and like, you know what, I'm okay with this. I'm okay. I feel like he's earned it too. He's been wrestling for so long.
Yeah.
So like, he's definitely earned it. Would you say he's like your favorite wrestler of all time, or do you have another person that's like your favorite wrestler?
Well, it's him and Bautista that are tied to like number one. So I can't really pick a number two. I mean, both of them were like my number one. Just because when I first started watching wrestling, at that time, John Cena was on Raw, Bautista was on SmackDown. So it's like, oh, like my favorite, like let me watch Raw, and my favorite John Cena, he's there, and same thing with SmackDown. I also love Trish Stratus, Lita, and Beth Phoenix. So those are like my top five. And I remember meeting Bautista for the first time. I met him in the Philippines actually before I moved to the States.
Nice.
He was like really nice, and I met him again when I moved to the States. Because they had like meet and greets in Vegas. I first lived in Vegas when I moved to the States, and John Cena was there too. And I remember, I think the third time that I met Bautista, I remember I walked up to him and he said, "I remember you." And I was like,
"Oh, nice.
Oh, that's really nice."
That's so awesome.
Because like the second time that I met him, in the States, I said, "Hey, do you remember me? We met in the Philippines." And then he's like, "I'm so sorry, I don't remember you." And in my head, of course, why would he remember me? This guy meets a lot of people, duh. So the third time that he met me, I think he just finally figured, okay, like, I remember her. So literally right before I said one word, he's like, "I remember you." And then fast forward to, God, maybe 2019, when he started making movies. He was on The Talk. It was like a daytime talk show. I want to say it was a talk. I took a picture of it, and I just said, "I am so proud of you, Dave Bautista." And I kind of, told the story of how he remembered me. And then he posted a comment. He said, "I still remember you." And I was like,
"Aw." That's so
man,
cool.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, that's super awesome. I would have been hyped about that too. Like, oh my God, yeah, you remember me.
Yeah, it was really nice, because it's like, to me, it's like, oh man, that's a, he didn't forget. And at the same time, now he's like doing, Hollywood films and stuff, and he's still, I felt like he was still down to earth, so that was really nice.
That's cool. That's amazing, especially since he's like one of your favorite wrestlers. So it's cool that he like remembers who you are now. Now he's getting into more movies, so it's like, yeah, he was a wrestler, but now he's getting on the level that non-wrestling fans know who he is too. So it's like, you got the story before he becomes like this global thing. He remembers you at least. So that's pretty cool. That's amazing. So we're going to get away from wrestling really quick and do like a quick speed round of questions. So I'm going to ask you something and you just answer the first thing that pops into your head. Okay. So what is the current song that you were playing on repeat on the playlist or whatever you use to listen to music?
Current song. I can think of Before He Cheats by Carrie Underwood.
Oh, love that song. Current show you are binge watching?
Current show I'm binge watching. I normally don't do that, but the last thing I binge watched was Squid Game.
See, I just finished that game like last week. Show had me stressed. I was so stressed. Like the show had me so anxious. I was like, okay, guys, carry on. Would you consider yourself a morning person or a night owl?
Night owl.
Okay. Favorite musician of all time?
Favorite musician of all time? Oh, Lady Gaga.
Nice. What is your favorite Lady Gaga song?
Ooh, favorite Lady Gaga song? Born This Way.
Nice. That's a great song. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
To be invisible.
Ah, nice. So now I have to ask, do you have a favorite superhero?
Ooh, favorite superhero. Well, I grew up here in the Philippines, so my favorite superhero would definitely be the Filipino version of Wonder Woman. Her name's
Oh,
Darna,
nice.
Darna. Told that's like the best way to describe it. So she's just the female version of Darna. Because like, I remember growing up, it was just like, you see like a bunch of like male superheroes, and then to me, I see her, and it's like, oh, she's female, and then she's also Filipino. So I was like, oh yeah, I love her. Like she basically, I'm trying to think, yeah, like even like the way she looked, it kind of reminds me of Wonder Woman. So that's like the best way to describe her. It's literally
No, that's
Filipino
that's
version
perfect. I definitely feel you
Wonder
with the
Woman.
women superheroes. I love women, especially like my favorite would be Storm from X-Men because
Oh, okay.
yeah, love her. She just is so cool and like the white hair and like
I love her hair.
Yes, and I'm just like, listen, look how badass she is. Like definitely one of my favorite female superheroes. So totally understand that. If you could travel with two people, it could be anybody for like all over the country. Well, when you're in the States, and you could just pick two people, who would those two people be and why?
Two people? Oh my God. It's got to be my husband. The second won't be a person. It will be our bird.
What kind of bird do you have?
We have a parakeet. He's like 7 now. He's like a little bluebird. He's our baby. So to me, it's like, it kind of sucks when I'm away. And it's like, I don't get to like see him. But he's our baby. So to me, if it's normally when we go on vacations, we leave him with our friends. But to me, it's like, man, I wish, we could like go on vacations, kind of like how people take their dogs with them. I don't know if you can fly with a bird. I mean, birds fly, but I don't know. I don't know if you can fly, like, take them with you on a plane. I don't know. I've never looked into it, but if it's easier to take him with us, definitely the three of us will be taking on a road trip.
Okay. And what is your favorite WWE pay-per-view? Like the one pay-per-view you have to watch every year.
Every year. Oh, God. I'm going to say Unforgiven in 2006. The one where Trish Stratus retired. It was 2006
nice.
because I remember John Cena also won the championship from Edge. And at that time, they had like this like rivalry. And then it was in Toronto. Yeah, it was in Toronto, Canada. And then it was Trish's hometown. And then she also retired. She won the championship against Lita. So, and I remember watching that at a movie theater because I was still in the Philippines.
Oh, nice.
And then at that time, you get to watch pay-per-views at a movie theater. So it was like 9 o'clock in the morning here. And my father took me to the movie theater to watch Unforgiven.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Okay, last question. What is a goal that you have in the next 5 years that it's like either a career goal or something you want to do in wrestling that you haven't done yet, but you want to do?
So career goal, I definitely want to get like a full-time job as a ring announcer. Just because like to me, I really love doing it. It wasn't even part of my plan. I had no clue I could do it. I found out by accident back in March that I could do it. And, next thing I know, I was at SummerSlam. And to me, that kind of SummerSlam made me feel like I was on the right path. Yeah. So to me, I just really want to get that full-time ring announcing gig because I want to keep getting my reps. And I also like love doing it. I remember after my spot at SummerSlam, I was like, "Can I do another one?" Like, because it was really fun, and
Yeah.
I love the energy from the crowd. So yeah, definitely a full-time ring announcing gig, and an opportunity to be someone's manager, a heel manager.
Nice.
I
So
specifically have to say that.
no, listen, I think face managers are good, but heel managers have so much more leeway to kind of play off the crowd and the wrestler. So I hear you.
What's funny is that I'm usually like I'm a nice person. I'm very friendly. Actually, going back to when you asked me if I took some training, 2020 was last year. Oh my God. So last year I took an online wrestling course with Santino Brothers in Southern California. And we talked about, psychology of wrestling, how matches are created and how to make promos. Yeah. And for our promo class, I remember we had to do, one as a heel and then, one as a face. I was struggling about being happy and friendly and just, total face character. For some reason, it was very hard to just be me because I'm normally that. I'm nice, I'm friendly. And I remember I had to do multiple takes and I was like, why is it much easier to be mean? What's wrong with me? But for some reason, I find it hard to be nice and friendly when I normally am, as a real person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me being a heel, for some reason, it's I don't know. It just comes out. It's like I don't even know.
That means that's naturally where you need to do. That the universe is telling you go heel. That's what it means. Is there anything you would like to promote to the audience that anybody can check you out, or anything you want to share so I can let the audience know?
Oh, yeah. So you guys can check me out on Instagram, Twitter, and yes, I do have TikTok. I'm efforting on creating videos on TikTok, learning how to make videos on TikTok at Ringside Raine, and that's Raine with an E. I'm also on YouTube at youtube.com/Ringside Raine. If you are in Southern California area, Orange County area, I am a ring announcer / backstage reporter for Orange County Championship Wrestling and Venue Wrestling Entertainment. So if you guys are in the Orange County area, please check out my Instagram so that way you can see when my shows would be.
Great. I will have all of the links in the description. So definitely go follow and share and all that good stuff. Also, support. If you are in the area, please go check out the show. Gotta always support our wrestling. And I want to thank you so much, Raine, for doing this with me. Like, you were very kind when I messaged you. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, should I message her? Like, I don't know. What if she's like, ooh, who's this person? So I'm just thank you for answering my message and wanting to do this with me. This is super awesome.
Oh my God, no, thank you for having me. I'm glad I saw your message because most of the messages that I'm getting, they're going to my spam for some reason. So I have to go to my spam and look at people's messages. And I'm glad I saw your message because, to me, I feel really honored that, you wanted to interview me. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, I was telling when me and my I watched it with my kids. We watched SummerSlam. So I was like, oh, this is the girl who won the SummerSlam thing. So when I told them I was interviewing you, they're like, oh, that's so cool. They're like, yeah, she actually was just really nice and responded. I'm just glad that she did. I always like to interview women in general on my podcast because women run the world. But just thank you so much. So thank you so much for be willing to get up super early to interview me. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Let me know whenever you want me back.
Oh, listen, okay? Once you tell me that, I'm going to be like, okay, listen, let's do this again. I love having repeat guests. I had quite a few that came back for other reasons. So I love having repeat guests on my show. So awesome. Again, audience, I will have everything in the description. Please go check out Ringside Raine's social media. And until next episode, guys, I'll check you then.